Good afternoon, Ben.
Hello.
Hello. We're talking about a unique film from our list thus far, aren't we? In that this is a musical.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had a musical yet, have we?
No, I don't think so. I think this is also the only one that's I found confusingly sexy as well. Um, and I feel like
Oh,
that's a perfectly reasonable reaction to have. How do you feel about that?
I suppose.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we're talking about Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
Do you want to make your opening statements?
Well, it's been fucking ages since I have seen this movie before, I'm sure, but it's been like 15 years.
Yeah, this
A
must
long
be a
old
while for
time.
me as well.
And I think it's okay. I am not I do not have the life experience or background for this film to resonate with me as it resonates with so many other people.
Yes, I think it's fair saying that neither of us really do.
We are not, yeah. People it resonates with, it really fucking resonates, but it
Yeah,
doesn't. I'm just, I'm not gonna have that experience with it, and that's fine.
yeah.
I think it's got a lot of things I really like.
hmm
I don't dislike this film. It's just, it's not.
It's not made
I
for
don't want to say
you.
it's not. I don't want to say it's not for me, but I am. I don't get as much out of it as I might otherwise, and I can appreciate why the people who really like it.
Yep.
Some of the songs are fucking great.
hmm
Some of the songs
Fucking
I
awful.
don't even remember.
Yeah.
And I like what it says to say about sexuality and repression
hmm
because it's really a film about white bread middle America stumbling into kink
Yeah. Pretty much.
and and Tim Curry, which we'll talk about, is fucking great.
Yeah. Um, I I actually introduced this to my at the time best friend in college, Ted, who was the son of a preacher. Um, he fucking loved this film. But I have fond memories of introducing him to this film. My initial note, which is my before I rewatch it, no, I put the movie is tonally all over, highly sexually charged, and there's some bare breasts in it. It's amusing, quotable in places, and if you've never seen it before, I very much doubt you'd know where it was going. I like most of the music. I like this film.
Yes,
I think that's perfectly
yes.
reasonable.
It's
There are times
it's
where the tone
good.
shifts quite a
I,
bit.
yeah, I think it's sort of meant to because
Yeah.
it is sort of it's sort of a B movie
Mm.
pastiche type thing,
Well, it's meant
and
the
it's
opening and the closing song reference
yeah,
the idea of a late
science
night.
fiction double feature. Yeah, it's that
Yeah,
sort of yeah, and it's definitely meant to be that. I mean,
it's
like
it's an
it
era that
is
is bygone.
the
We don't have that anymore, do we? It'd be nice if
yeah,
we did,
it
maybe.
is
But
yes, and it plays into the whole outsider theme, and it is kind of no, you're right. We don't really get that anymore because if a film's shit, everybody's talking about it.
yeah, you don't
You
get
know, if
any.
it's The Room or Birdemic,
Hmm,
you don't get those films that are just made so teenagers can make out to them.
yeah, then and they'd be too busy on their fucking phones anyway, wouldn't they?
Too busy playing fucking Pokemon Go.
And of course, in the age of streaming, how many people really go to the cinema?
Yeah.
So, anyway, shall we crack on?
Why ever the hell not?
So we do, as we say, open with science fiction double feature, and those very iconic lips.
Yes,
Yes,
Patricia Quinn's lips, I think.
we've met her, haven't we?
Drunk as a skunk.
Yeah, we met Patricia Quinn back in I believe it was 2013.
No idea.
It may have been earlier, maybe 2012. Either
I
way,
asked her about I, Claudius, which I'm glad I did because I'm sure a lot of people don't.
yeah, we met her, and yeah, they were her lips, but it was Richard O'Brien singing.
Yes,
Yes.
I went on the TV tropes page after
hmm
I watched this movie, and it said that she had wanted to sing that song,
Yeah,
and this was like the compromise they reached.
that's fair enough. She did probably still sing it. It's just they didn't use her audio. So yeah, but no, there's a lot of references to science fiction throughout that song.
A Ray and uh, the
Leo G. Carroll gets mentioned, whoever that is.
yeah, the I saw McClatu, the day the world on Earth stood still.
Yeah, there's a few, you know.
Yeah.
Dana Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, some of the lyrics I feel are a little bit clunky, but I mean, if you're
Yeah.
making references and we're talking about a 1975 B movie anyway, it's not going to be highly polished, is it?
See, I'm kind of at a disadvantage here because this is a musical and I
Hmm.
don't really do music on that level.
Yeah.
I know
No.
what I like.
Hmm.
If it sounds good, it sounds good, but I'm not. I I'm not one for analyzing music. I should probably try sometime, but it's just not.
It's a lot easier than you think.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is, but it's just not
Hmm.
how I interact with that
No, that's fair enough.
medium.
I struggle. There was a point in time where I struggled to watch something and not be analysing it. I'm at that point now
Yeah.
with music, less so with TV and film because I do so little
But
TV and film review, and games as well. I've got to a point where I'm playing games and I'm experiencing the game, not reviewing it in my head while I'm playing it. You know, I still get moments where I'm like, oh, this is a shit bit, and this is why it's a shit bit, and this bit's poorly designed, and you know, stuff like that. I get to that, but less so. Um. Anyway, so yeah, after the song, we end up there's a wedding, or the end of a wedding going on.
yes,
Oh my
it's
god.
a very wholesome, almost 1950s style wedding.
In Denton.
Yes, this young couple have gotten married, and everybody's
Mm,
very happy for them. And we're introduced to our main characters, Brad Majors and
yeah.
Janet Weiss.
Yes.
Brad is talking to the groom, and it's such a, it's so cliche middle America. They're
Mm.
like college sweethearts,
Oh, isn't that nice?
and and it'll be you next, and
Yeah.
she's a damn good cook, and he'll get a promotion in a couple of years.
Oh.
It's so
I can't remember
they are
what the
so white
bride's
bread.
name is, but I know he's Ralph, isn't he? He's Ralph Habshat. Oh, Betty Monroe, that's it. She was playing old Betty Monroe, but now she's Mrs. Ralph Habshat. It's like, well, hang on a minute. I think Betty Monroe's a better name actually of the two.
Yeah.
But again, like you say, it's Middle America, and these are the people that are like, this is what their
Yes.
life in the nicest way possible. This is the peak of their lives. This is what they've been aiming for. You know,
Yes.
this is the
Yes.
goal. Find a man who
It's
is in a position to support you for the rest of your life and look after a home for him and presumably
yes.
children. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I personally don't agree with that life, but that's a different time. It's a different era. You know, this movie
Very
came
white
out.
picket fence Americana, yeah.
This movie came out before my mother was even born, so it's very much not our
Jeez.
era. You know. I just want to, before we move on too much, there's obviously we can see Tim Curry, Richard O'Brien, and
Patricia Quinn.
yes, in the background of this. And
Yeah.
there's I always forget what the painting's called, but it's the farmer and daughter.
American
pictures there.
Gothic.
Yes, that's the one.
American Gothic,
They're-
yeah.
O'Brien and Quinn are dressed very much like that, and that painting is
Yes.
up in the castle later on.
It
as
is
well.
indeed, yeah.
But I was always more freaked out by the photographer.
He's got a weird voice.
He really has. Even now, I'm like, well, he's a weird one. But I wondered how many of these cast members are reused later on.
Well, I had read that everybody at that wedding
Hmm,
is a guest.
later on,
Yeah,
It
they're
would
not the
make
same
sense.
characters, but they're played by the same actors.
it would make sense to reuse them because I mean, it would just be an ensemble. It was originally a stage show, wasn't it? So you use as
Yeah.
few actors as possible to fill
Yeah.
as many places. You know, it's fair enough. Also, Tim Curry, he turns around weirdly for some of that scene. He's just facing the church,
Hmm.
and I was like, well, why is that? Is that what's the
Don't
point
know.
there? But yeah.
I don't understand.
So not Betty. Not Brad. Janet catches
Yeah.
the bouquet, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Yeah, and then everyone else fucks off.
Yeah, I just want to make a note of what's. Do you know what's written on the car?
No, I can't remember.
It's something along the lines of "She got hers today, he'll get his tonight,"
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
which is something that came up earlier for me.
Hmm.
I stumbled upon a video or something where that quote. So that's presumably like something that people used to say about weddings, like the weddings for the woman, the honeymoons for the man.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose given the cliche of each of those, it would make sense,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
it plays it. Yes, it plays into the whole cliche white bread middle America thing.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone fucks off, and then they have a little chat, don't they? And he's obviously dithering over something, and she's
Yes,
sort of trying to egg him on a little bit, having caught the bouquet, and he starts singing to her. What is it? I really love the skillful way you beat the other girls for a bride's bouquet, and then
yes,
start singing "Damn It, Janet," which is not necessarily
yes.
a title that would uh, inspire much hope, but the song itself is very much, I do all this stuff and I do it for you, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
It's kind of how I read that some of the
yeah.
lyrics. Yeah, the river was long, but I swam it. Is a
Janet.
yeah, well, yeah, because you get the church employees at that point singing the
Road it
backing
was
vocals,
long,
don't
but
they?
I ran it.
Yeah, Janet.
Janet.
He does also deface for church, and I wonder if
And
that is
then
a sign of his
hastily
upcoming.
clean it.
I wonder if that's a sign of his upcoming debauchery.
I don't know. I don't know.
A little bit of foreshadowing, maybe.
Probably not.
No, probably not. And I also got
But
the
they,
impression at times that they were maybe the employees at the church were sort of trying to just get out the way,
Yeah.
because like they go into the church, and then Brad and Janet go into the church, and oh fine, we'll go into the back and we'll bring the coffin in, and
Are they the same characters?
I'm going to assume not, based on the same premise as the wedding attendants aren't the same characters. I think it's fair to assume that it's the same rule for all of them. Given
Yeah,
the
I assumed
circumstances.
that they were, and this was part of a larger conspiracy. But
Okay.
then later in the film, it sort of occurred to me that it wasn't. So
Yeah.
I guess you're right.
I think if the wedding attendants are not the same characters, we have to assume that the preacher and other employees are not also.
It's a strange choice. I wish,
Yeah,
certainly for Tim Curry, Patricia Quinn, and the other guy,
Richard O'Brien.
it's just Richard O'Brien. It's just they're very because they spend so much time on screen, and all the guests are like minor characters.
Yeah, you can get
Just
away with
extras
them.
wearing glasses and hats.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Tim. I can clearly tell it's Tim Curry.
Maybe that's why he turned around to try.
Yeah, but that's even weird. That just draws even more fucking
Well,
suspicion.
I know, but it's possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Patricia Quinn is less recognisable than the other two,
I suppose.
so maybe she sort of gets away with it, but they don't. They really don't.
Well,
Yeah.
so Brad sings his little song.
Yeah, they get
And,
engaged throughout the course of a song.
Yes, they get engaged, and the plan is we're going to go see the guy who introduced us, Dr. Scott, who was our high school science teacher.
Is that normal?
Because I don't know. I don't know. Well, they've stayed in touch. They're friends, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't
Mentioned
know.
that they're friends.
I don't know if it'd be normal to. I mean, is it a sign of the times, perhaps, that that'd be what they do? Is go and talk to the. These days, there'd be a few phone calls for close family, texts for everyone else, and a Facebook post. Just,
I guess, yeah. I mean,
I know they didn't
think
obviously
it's-
have that back then, but
I think it's weirder that the high school teacher was encouraging them to hook up.
well, what is it?
I thought
Make
it
me
was
give you the
college when
eye
they-
and then panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, yes. So off they go, and
Yes.
it's we cut to our narrator. I
We
think,
do.
who's
Charles Gray.
lovely Charles Gray,
Yes.
and it's sort of revealed that he's narrating in the future.
Yes, it's
And this is a I guess a true crime case or something. He's got the police reports,
it's very
statements
much-
that they wrote after the fact.
we're basically everything that we see is sort of like the account of what happened, but presented as it's happening, not after a fact. And he's fitting in he's the one that segues us into the next section, right? Effectively
Yes.
each time. Well, most of the time anyway.
Yeah, he's talking about how it was basically a dark and stormy night, and their spare tire was a bit flat.
Yeah,
But they didn't care because they were young and excited and in love.
yeah.
We cut to them driving down a country lane. Do you know
Well-
what they're listening to?
Well, I do, but before we do that, we'll come back to it. That is the Richard Nixon resignation speech,
Yes,
and I take issue with this actually. Funnily enough,
go on.
we're told that the events took place in late November,
Yeah,
and
Richard
his speech
Nixon
was in
resigned
August.
when? Yes,
So it's either a
I found that
reboot.
out.
I had a list. I knew it was Richard Nixon, and I was pretty sure it was his resignation. I thought, okay, so when was that? I want to double check it is what I think it is. So I paused the film, I had a listen, had a look, and like there's a few months out, and it does bug me slightly because again, it wouldn't have been difficult to just say August.
No, but that's word of God, according to the TV tropes page, i.e., what Richard O'Brien and the other guy said,
Yeah.
was that it's a recording.
Okay.
So they're listening to a recording of Richard Nixon's resignation speech, and they're not like enjoying it like liberals might.
No.
They're just sort of listening in sort of respectful. It's really weird.
It is weird. I would understand. I always assumed it was the radio. Right. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was laughing.
Ben's been not very well this week, so I don't
Yes.
want him to keel over and die whilst we're.
No, I was laughing. Go on.
Oh, I tell you what, it'd be one hell of an alibi, wouldn't it? I couldn't possibly
No.
have killed him. I'm recording a video with him remotely. Anyway, we do get a bit, and it's something I'm aware of from stage show productions, where Charles Gray is talking about the storm clouds, and someone apparently the audience when he says storm clouds there's a bit of a pause. Apparently the audience typically says describe your balls, and the next line is large, black, and pendulous, and it's just it always tickles me.
Yes, there's a lot of audience reactions
There-
because it is like the definitive cult classic.
Yeah, I would very
Like
much
they
like
all-
to go to one at some point, but I am not dressing up for it.
They always call. Apparently, they always when Janet's name is mentioned, they say slut,
Oh,
and when Brad's name is mentioned, they say asshole.
okay.
There's others which we'll get in, but they really fucking go for it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but okay. They pass a motorcyclist, a few of them. And,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, life's cheap to motorcycles. No, life's cheap to that kind. It's like, oh, what have they got
Yes,
against
which
motorbikes?
which is again another weird sort of conservative American viewpoint.
Yeah.
The motorcyclists, they don't care about anything.
Hmm.
They're fine with dying,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
shooting up heroin
Good
while
lord.
they're listeing.
Shooting up
respectfully
junk.
to
Are
the
they all
Richard
low?
Nixon speech.
Are they all low down, cheap little punks?
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, they get a flat tire. Oh no. Brad's like, oh darn it, should have got that tire fixed. I guess I'll go back to that place we passed a few
Which
miles
is
down the road.
classic, sort of B movie horror
Yeah.
sort of setup. Oh, our car's broken down. Do you have a phone, owner of this creepy haunted house?
Yes. She obviously objects, Janet, doesn't she? And her response is, the owner of that phone might be a beautiful woman, and you might never come back again. And knowing what we know, that amuses me.
yeah.
You know, it's not a beautiful woman, but it is Tim Curry in drag.
Yes.
You know. But no, they both go. She insists on going with him, so they both go. They sing again. There's a light over at the Frankenstein place.
Mm.
There's that awkward chapter verse in the middle, isn't there, by Riff Raff, which I'm not that keen on that verse.
Yeah,
personally.
I don't really care for that song, but it's a beautiful house. It's a lovely British country house. Apparently, they filmed this in England.
Which you then have to, because you don't get houses like that in random bits in America, do you? But we kind of do here because we've got the history.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
We've got buildings that are old, well, quite a lot
Older
of buildings
than-
that are older than an entire country. So you know,
yes.
you know, it's just
Not
like,
difficult to find a building in this country that is older than America.
But yeah, they knock on the door. They meet Riff Raff, and again, his line "You're wet" has always sort of stuck with me. The way he delivers that.
I mean, they are soaked. They didn't even have a coat or anything. They are
No.
soaked.
She's got a newspaper on, hasn't she, covering her head?
Yeah, and
But
she's
other
just
than
in like a summer dress and a. It's very thin fabric. It's not appropriate
For that
feather wear at all.
No, they've not dressed for the elements.
They
It's
should
not.
have just stayed in the car and
It's
waited.
not. It's not what you wear in November. As simple as that.
No.
Again, maybe it should have been August. Anyway, yeah. They meet him. He lets them in. Magenta's there. She goes a bit weird. What is it? I'm lucky. You're lucky. I'm lucky. We're all lucky.
You were lucky.
And then they go
Yes,
into the time warp.
master is hosting an event. Yes. Yes, they go into the time warp. as they say.
Probably the most famous song from this. I'll say
It's
it
still
is,
fucking
isn't it?
great. It's still fucking great. It's a fun, happy, catchy little tune.
It is. You know, it teaches you the dance moves.
Yes, and Charles Gray's doing his bits, and that's very fun. And
I honestly, him doing that, you know, that bit when he's on the desk near
yes,
the end of the song. I really fucking love that bit. He's clearly enjoying
yes,
it. You
yes.
know.
You take a jump to the put your
Uh,
hands on your hips. Yes.
yeah.
Um,
There's a Christopher Biggins as well. You see him
yes, I was
in
going to say
this.
Christopher Biggins, which is an I Claudius reunion because he was Nero
Oh.
in that. So, yeah,
He's
nice.
sort of big in the panto scene over here, isn't he? That's his. You know,
Yeah, that's sort of
he's
what he's
famous for being
what it
big
is.
and camp. That's
Yes, yes,
and no hate to him. You know, it's good work if you can get it. But that's kind of what he is these days.
yeah. We're rather fond of Christopher Biggins, even though he thinks bisexual people are greedy.
Well, I mean, he
But
has been in this film, so I suppose he has some hands-on experience of bisexual people. Uh,
yeah,
there's also there's a little sort of I describe it as like a hunchback-specific dance where that Riff Raff does that amuses me as well. Where he's sort of hunched and he's got his arms and he waves them up and
uh,
yeah to the
yeah.
sides. I don't know. Again, something about that motion amuses me. The way he delivers that, it just it works for me. And you get
This is very dis
Go on.
This is very distressing to Brad and Janet, isn't it? Because Janet faints like twice
Yeah,
during the time. Well, this is too much
yeah.
for these conservative youths.
Good God, a group of people. They're not even doing the Madison. We see Little Nell as Columbia doing her tap dancing as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Which again seems a bit out of place, but and she looks pissed off with someone at the end of it. When at the end of a tap dance, she looks pissed off with
Yeah,
Patricia Quinn.
she sort of accidentally tap dances this way into a wall or into the stage and falls over.
Yeah. So, but no, they're
Yeah.
trying to back away, aren't they? You know, Brad does this
Yes.
stupid joke about does anyone know how to Madison, and you know they're backing away, and they accidentally back up towards an elevator, don't they?
Yes.
Ooh.
There's somebody in it.
Oh wow.
Who is it?
It's only Frank Enfurter.
The master of the house, Dr. Frankenfurter,
Yes.
no less.
Well, I don't necessarily trust his doctorate personally, but
Really.
well, given what we find out later, yeah. But there's an awful lot of anticipation in this scene.
You could have held that longer.
I could have.
I was prepared. I was in it for the long haul. You gave that. Anyway.
Well, no, I'll extend it in the edit. It's gonna go for 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna leave it that long. But no, he sings a song, "Sweet Transvestite."
Yes, which is another great song.
It really is. You know what? I watched this film yesterday morning. Last night, me and my partner were lay in bed watching TikToks on our phone, and I'm not even joking. There was at least 2 different Rocky Horror themed videos. She didn't watch it with me. I mentioned to her that I'd watched it. 2 different Rocky Horror themed videos, and one of them was these are different people doing various versions of this song. And I said going into it, the Tim Curry one would be the best one. And Anthony Head gets a little close, but the pacing's off for a lot of them. There's something about the way that Tim Curry delivers it that just works better than anyone else.
I have a controversial opinion.
Oh.
I think on Tim Curry in this film.
Hmm.
I think Tim Curry in the Rocky Horror Picture Show is one of the best screen performances I've ever seen.
I'm willing to accept that it's definitely up there. Yeah.
I heard it. It's just he just fucking owns that role.
Yeah.
He's just perfect. He just owns the screen every time he's on it. He's brilliant.
I would say
He's
that
just brilliant.
the way that you're describing it to me feels an awful lot like the way that people describe his role in Muppet Treasure Island. Like he's just so into it that
I just think
it feels like it was made for him.
Yes, there's just something about this role for Tim Curry where it's just perfect. It's just perfect. I don't know what it is, but it's just so ahead of everybody else, and everybody else is great in this.
There are very few weak performances.
Yeah, he's like on a different level, and it's not even that I think the acting is especially good, even though, as I say, it is good from him. It's just there's something about him in that role that's just perfect.
Yeah. So no, we find out over the course of the film, we sort of find out more than we think we do, because he talks about being a transsexual from No, it's Sweet Transvestite from Transsexual Transylvania, which
Hmm.
is of course later on revealed to be a planet. Like it's
Yes,
from another
they're all
fucking planet.
aliens.
Yeah, and this is him saying that, but not
Yeah,
really actually us knowing what that means at
which
that point, because he is dressed
yeah,
up in corset and stockings and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff, isn't it? You know,
Yes,
he
but
looks like a transvestite given the circumstances.
the whole thing about them being aliens again plays into the whole otherness of the queer community. This
Yeah,
is a rejoicing in the otherness status
yeah,
and in how Brad and Janet, as I say, conservative middle
mm,
America, finding themselves in this position with Tim Curry singing about how he's a sweet transvestite
yeah,
in stockings and a corset.
yeah. You know, it throws him off a little bit. Um,
Yes,
but they get stripped. He disappears. He's like, "Oh, you come up to the lab and see what's on the slab."
yes.
And then he does the "I see you shiver" with Antissi. Patient.
Yeah,
Better that time.
yeah,
Yeah.
better.
Okay. But yeah, they get stripped down into their underwear, and Janet's a bit, reluctant to this, and Brad's like, "Yeah, fine, okay, get on with it.
Yeah, he
These are their
says they must be
customs."
foreigners at some point. At some
Well, it's not
point.
wrong, to be fair.
I mean, he's right, yeah. But it is just like, well, they must be foreign
Yeah,
because this is weird to me. They must be foreign.
yeah,
Yes, of course we will take off our clothes. It must be their custom.
yeah. Perfectly normal apparently, but so he lets them, and I mean, obviously we don't. It's not too revealing for Janet. She's in a bra and she's still got like this sort of weird skirty thing. I don't know what it's called. There's probably a name for it, but and they go up to the lab, and I always thought that Frankie was being a bit flirty with Janet in this, and she seems very much under his spell, I would say.
She's certainly more friendly towards him than Brad is.
Yes, definitely.
I sort of read it more as her sort of being a bit airheaded.
Hmm. Yeah, that's reasonable.
There's the
But
bit where
again,
he
that's cliche,
reveals.
isn't it?
Yeah, there's a bit where he reveals the Rocky, and she's like clapping along
Hmm.
with
Yeah.
everybody else, and Brad sort of looks at her. Um,
Well,
yeah, this is where
sorry, we'll get
he
to it, but yeah.
he talks about he's made a man,
Yes, he's.
as he says in the song, with blonde hair and a tan.
Oh, we it's a little later on, but yeah, we because we see him bringing this looks to be quite well endowed mummy uh, to life using.
Yes,
There's a lot of sci-fi mumbo jumbo as you would expect.
yes,
The mummy gets enveloped in rainbow
yes,
and then comes to life.
yes.
And I feel like there's maybe a subtle meaning there that I just can't quite grasp.
In front of the unconventional convention, as Frankenfurter
Yes.
calls it.
Um, and almost immediately after, the Sword of Damocles song starts playing, and that doesn't really it's jarring. I find that jarring personally, because you get
One of the problems I often have with musicals is that it feels like they go, "All right, let's stick a song in here,"
yeah.
and it's like, well, I'm not really in the mood for a song. Could we maybe hold off?
Hmm.
If you took like, I don't know, a third of songs out of all musicals, I'd probably like them a lot better.
Yeah, I would say that this is one of the songs in this film, at least, I feel is not necessary.
Yeah, it's just something to sit through.
Some of them are essential. Some of them you could probably get away with, but do add still. And this one, it changes the pacing. It doesn't feel right to me.
I kind of hate to say it, but I got a bit bored at this point,
Of this,
and
okay.
I checked how much time was left, and I was sort of horrified to find it had only been 30 minutes.
I was about to say it's about 30 minutes in, isn't it? So
It's pretty fucking top heavy.
yeah. Well, I mean, during the course of this, it's evident that Rocky's not acting how Frankie thought he would,
Yeah.
and he goes into then. I could make you a man in just 7 days. I could make you a man because he seems to have looked up to Charles Atlas as a model for how a man
Yes.
should be. A weakling
Yes.
weighing 98 pounds will get sand in his face when kicked to the ground. I actually think this is one of my favourite songs from this. I think the way it's delivered and it's very playful, and obviously he's a little bit overcome with excitement, and I feel like as far as the song goes, it works for me. And there was a reprise a little bit later on. But yeah, and then who turns up out of nowhere?
Bloody Meatloaf, isn't it?
Meatloaf. Actually, they spelled his name wrong in the credits.
Did they?
Yeah, it's a me being a bit
Meatloaf.
pedantic. It's they do put meatloaf, but they put it as one word when actually it's two.
Oh, he's Mr. Loaf, is he?
Yeah, Mr. M Loaf. Yeah, and it bugs me when people do that because obviously you expect it to be one, but it is actually
Yeah.
two.
For Mr. and Mrs. Loaf, a child.
Yes. But yeah, he's Eddie, isn't he? And again, this is a sharp tonal
Yes.
change, and he's talking about Saturday night being, rock and roll, and
Yeah, he drives out of the deep freeze on his motorcycle. He's driving around, and
nearly runs a load of people over.
Frankenfurter's pissed off because nobody's paying attention to him anymore. And it's like,
And then he straight up murders him.
yeah, he does.
He straight
Most
up
of the-
murders Eddie.
Yeah, he hacks him to death with like an ice pick or something.
Yeah,
And Little Nell is
very distraught.
upset.
Well,
Because
it
they
looked
were
like they had
dating.
some sort of intimate relationship, doesn't it? He
Yeah.
basically, I don't want to say pins her down, but it's very much. It looks like they're getting very intimate.
Why was he in the deep freeze to begin with?
Well, I think it was implied that. See, I think something that Frankie says later on suggests that he put half of Eddie's brain into for Rocky and someone else, and I took that to be Columbia
Right.
based on what he says, because it's right after
Yeah.
he Medusas her, and he's like, maybe I made a mistake splitting his brain into both of them.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, maybe I'm not entirely sure what the second half is. But yeah, he murders Eddie, and then he beds Rocky. There's a sort of wedding march style bit of music, and Rocky shuffles over awkwardly towards the bed with him, and curtains close, and it's very clear that something's going
To
on.
the marital bed.
Yes. All the guests leave, and it's just Brad and Janet who are put up in separate bedrooms
Yeah.
with cameras
Being
watching them.
watched on screen. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is one of the most awkward but also amusing scenes to me, and I want to qualify that by saying that the fact that both scenes happen almost identically is
Yeah.
what amuses me, not necessarily the content of them, because it is. I'm going to level it a bit of a consent violation.
It's attempted rape.
It is very much. Oh, I wouldn't even necessarily say that it's attempted. I would say it probably is technically rape.
I don't think it is rape.
It's complicated because there is objection and then perhaps a bit of coercion and persuasion to make it happen.
So,
And that's where it gets
okay.
complicated.
So
So
Frankenfurter goes into both Janet and Brad's rooms, one after the other,
disguised
disguised as the other,
Yeah.
and then very quickly the disguise falls apart. They're appalled, and then he sort of talks them into it because really you kind of like it, and they have to admit that yeah they do.
and that's why I'm uncomfortable with it. This feels like a bit of a consent violation to me. I would classify this as sexual assault at the very least, personally.
I'm okay with morally grey characters doing morally grey things.
Okay, and that's fair enough. It doesn't
No.
put me off the film. I just
He's just fucking hacked Meatloaf to death
well, I
with an
know.
ice axe.
I think the most amusing part of this to me, this arguably rape scene, the funniest thing for me is what have you done with Janet? Oh, nothing. Why? Do you think I should? And
Yes,
does
that
it
twice.
does it to both of them, and it's like, again,
Yeah.
it's something about the similarity between the two scenes, the
Yes.
almost identical way. It
Yes.
works for me. It is amusing to me, even if again
And
it is maybe a bit rapey.
And they're both sort of into it. Middle America gets
Mm.
kinky.
Yeah.
You know, Frank and this subscribed transvestite,
Mm.
this transsexual, who is unabashed and unashamed of their own sexuality,
Yep.
wins over Middle America because they like it really.
Yeah,
No.
there's this bit where Frankie is talking to Brad, and then he gets cut off by the end of a sentence because it's clear he's just put Brad's cock in his mouth, and the delivery of that, it's a believable delivery. I know they won't have possibly actually put Barry
I
Bostwick's
didn't
cock in
catch
Tim Curry's
that.
mouth. I know
I
he
didn't
won't have
catch
done it,
that.
but he definitely, it sounds very
Okay.
much like it, and I know they didn't do it, but I would believe you if you told me they did.
They clearly do it, and then
Well, there's a
Meanwhile,
cutaway in the middle, isn't there? Yeah, with, as you say, go on.
well, yeah, they go to Riff Raff and Magenta,
Mm.
and Riff Raff torments Rocky by waving the candelabra.
Torment is
Or
exactly the
candles.
word I put down in my note.
Yeah, it's what's written down on Wikipedia. That's
Oh,
why I
okay,
said that.
fair enough.
Because you know what my memory's like.
It's very
Um,
much the villager tormenting Frankenstein's monster sort of.
that's exactly
vibe.
what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
I mean, Rocky is a sexy Frankenstein.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is kinky Frankenstein. That's what this is.
And obviously,
And
Frank Unferter will have been a name
yeah,
inspired
yeah,
by.
of course, absolutely.
Yeah, so Rocky was chained to
Um,
that bed.
Yes, he was. So
By
he
the
didn't get
ankle.
away. But he breaks free like King Kong.
I just want to. There's a reference to King Kong later, isn't there? The way that he's chained onto that bed is very much he is stuck laying on his front, which tells me
Yeah.
that he's the bottom.
Honestly, I think Frankenfurter is versatile.
I think he's versatile, but in that circumstance,
Although-
that positioning very much makes him Rocky the bottom there,
Yes.
because it's very difficult
Agreed.
to do the
Agreed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Do you think Siskel and Ebert had this conversation at the time?
probably not. No. We get Janet crying because she spots. She's wondering what's going on. She goes to the lab and she sees
Yeah.
sees Brad smoking after having
Yes.
had some sort of sexual encounter. with
Frankenfurter's lying back, yeah.
Yeah.
And Janet was initially very guilty about what she had done. But
Yeah.
then she's pissed off because she feels like she's been wronged, which
I think that's very unfair of her, given.
I think that's very unfair. I think in this position, situation, let's say situation instead of position, given the context, but if they'd just been open with one another,
Yeah.
it would be incredibly uncomfortable. It's like, yeah, we're sort of even.
Yeah, that's all it takes, really. A bit of communication. Every relationship thrives on being on proper communication. It's an essential. And honestly, if you can't communicate with your partner, you shouldn't be with them.
Remember, the best marital aid is a good conversation.
Yes. The second best marital aid is smothering them with a pillow. Anyway, so
So
yeah,
she fucks Rocky.
yeah, she starts bandaging him up and then sings songs about how now that she's had some pleasure, she wants more. And
Touch
basically
her, touch
she's
her,
addicted.
touch me.
Yeah, and she wants to fuck Rocky, so she sort of does. There's that aside, isn't there, where Magenta and Columbia are watching her, and it seems like
Yeah.
they're taking the piss.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always got the vibe that they were taking the piss out of her,
yeah,
which is fair enough, I suppose.
yeah.
Yeah,
But it's also, it's my third favorite song,
yeah, that's reasonable. It's a good song.
and I think, I don't know, I'm on the fence about Damn It Janet because I think it's sort of fine, but this is of all the songs, this is one of the three I think are really good.
I used to really like this song. I've gone off it a little bit, but I do. Yeah, it's up there. I used to really like it. I less so these days, but it's interesting. The end of the song is the words "creature of the night," which is obviously a reference itself.
To Dracula, I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, sort of Children of the Night. Yeah.
Yeah. And during that section, she's basically fucking everyone from her perspective. Is the gist there? I take this as she's that overcome with lust and orgasmic pleasure that she doesn't care who she gets it from as long as she gets it. I don't care who's touching me, just fucking touch me, sort of vibe. Maybe I'm reading into that too wrong. Maybe, but that's why I take from it, given the context and the words, and yeah, she doesn't care as long as she gets them, and we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, Dr. Scott arrives.
Yes, in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and sorry, no. Frankie and Brad and everyone else is in the lab. Rocky and Janet are hidden away still at this point. Yeah,
God,
I
so
know.
many great line deliveries from Tim Curry. Rocky. It's just
Brad acknowledges knowing Dr. Scott, doesn't he? And there's this whole talk about how Riffraff asks if he knows this Earthling before being prompted to say person, and that is our first actual clue that they're not human.
Yes.
That's everything before. You could maybe if you're way ahead of your of the story itself, be able to maybe piece it together. But in this context, this is a first clue, first proper clue that they're not human.
Yeah.
And then we find out that Dr. Scott works for the government to investigate UFOs,
Mm.
and he's in the Zen room, which is
Cut to
clearly
him. Yes. Then we cut to Doctor Scott, who, yes, we can confirm is in the Zen room.
it's very clearly a drug den, isn't it? You got he
There's
picks up a
candles
joint
and
and
music and yeah.
there's a fucking hashish pipe there, and
Yeah.
you know, and then he gets magnetically, which I say in quotation marks, magnetically brought up to them with the triple magnet thing. And we get this awkward but slightly amusing scene of a wheelchair being driven around the castle to get to him. The very first shot of that, you can actually see the wire that pulls him up the ramp. That indicates the stairs. But no, and then he goes around Magenta's room and like, what the fuck is going on? It's just, it shouldn't. It's amusing because it's ridiculous. Is how I see it. Like, if it wasn't ridiculous, it wouldn't be funny.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's only ridiculous to make it funny. So
again, it's kind of another B movie type thing.
Yeah. But yeah, he gets there, and Frankenfurter's like, "Oh, there's something bigger going on here. You know, you brought your pal to investigate and get the lay of the building, and now here you are." And it turns out Dr. Scott turned up to find Eddie, who happens to be his nephew.
Oh my god!
And there's a bit of a surprise there from Janet, isn't there? She makes a noise, and it's revealed that her and Rocky are in the rainbow tank, as I like to call it. And then we get this. I've written it down, but we all know the section. Janet,
Brad,
Janet, Dr. Scott,
Rocket.
And if we get this like 3 times, and it's just.
Oh god, Tim Curry does so much. Oh god, he's so good.
He is. He really is. It's just.
He's so good.
It's a scene which, again, it's ridiculousness, and it does the comedy. It does the rule of 3 thing with the comedy. They do it 3 times, and it works. It just, you don't think they're going to do it another time, but they do, and then you're not quite sure they're going to do it another time, but they fucking do it, and it works. It just works, and then, oh no, dinner's ready. Which is a bit late because I thought everyone had gone home and everyone was going to bed, but okay, dinner's ready. So they go to dinner, don't they?
They have a very awkward dinner scene. They're all sat around, riffraff's pouring wine into various. Some of them have got wine glasses. Some of them just have like cups.
So I think it looks like one of them's got Rocky's got a jar or something.
It looks like a jar, or it looks like a glass Pepsi can or something.
Yeah, maybe.
It's Josh, yeah, and
we actually
the mugs and.
We get an actor from this scene that was in Dog Soldiers.
Do you really?
The electric carving knife.
Oh yeah, that's a funny fucking scene as well. When she hands him the electric carving knife, and it's just that juxtaposition. You assume it's going to be she's going to carve it for him, and it's going to be a fancy bit of knife work or whatever.
But no, it's just a fucking...
No. It's kind of cheap, and there's something great about that.
Well, I want to say it. Middle America. That picket fence life is what I associate that household appliance with. Personally, that's what I see.
I suppose you're right. It's the juxtaposition of the American family meal, and you've got a load of, father carving the turkey.
Yeah,
and it's just a load of freaks.
I just want to,
by their own acknowledgement,
I just want to say it does actually look like quite a nice joint of meat. I think it's pork. I think it is actually pork. By the look
fucking long pork.
It looks like a good cut of meat, and it looks like a well cooked cut of meat. It is very heavily. It's Eddie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not pork. It's meatloaf.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Apparently, that's one of the moments where the audience is going meatloaf again.
Yeah, I like that. So before we find out it's Eddie. Sorry, we find out that Frankie and Pounds are aliens, and Dr. Scott does a 4th wall break, and I can't remember what the line is that he says, but He turns to the camera and talks to the audience, which is not something we get an awful lot of in this film.
He does it every now and then. There's a couple of times where he looks directly to camera and says something.
Yeah, there's not many, but he does it.
Hmm.
He does it.
Hmm.
And with the tablecloth gets removed, we find out that it's Eddie. They do the song actually about Eddie, don't they? Eddie's
Yeah.
Teddy. How do you feel about that one?
Again, not wild about it. Don't it's better, but it's
Again, it's one that doesn't necessarily have to be.
But there's very few musicals where every song
No, of course.
hits. You
Um,
know,
Yeah, so we find out that it's Eddie's body. What's left of it is under the table. Janet freaks out and runs to Rocky to embrace her.
or
Mm.
Brad.
Yeah, poor Brad indeed. You know, she made a point earlier on saying that she doesn't like men with too many muscles, which obviously is, well, she says that, and then towards the end of afterwards, she high pitch says that she's a muscle fan. So you know, poor Brad here is first implied that he hasn't got many muscles, and
No.
then clearly, actually, she kind of does like muscly men, and she's probably just been too nice to, you know, I don't know.
Yes, sexual awakening of Middle America.
Yeah.
That's what this film is about, in a way.
So Frankie doesn't like that Janet's with him, and sort of you better wise up, Janet Weiss sort of song. I can't. I think the song is called Planet Schmanet Janet.
Yeah.
Which is it's a weird, you know. But there's a line in it that I quite like. A mental mindfuck can be nice. And yeah, just something about the sometimes you do need a little bit of a shock to the system to realize, yeah, I fucking like this. I've been, you know me, I like to explore sexually.
Yes,
I'm a
I
bit
know,
of a,
unfortunately.
and as such, I can resonate with that concept of throwing yourself in there. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe sink or swim, effectively, for that kind of thing. I can relate to that concept, whereas I suspect you probably can't as much.
No,
No, and that's fair
never
enough.
never been pissed on, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
but can you wear a sleep mask to bed?
yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Oh my god, but the depravity, it's crazy, isn't it? I'm all over the fucking place.
Yeah. So yes, I can't quite remember what happens here.
Okay,
but
so I can tell you.
I think Columbia gets pissed off.
Yeah, she's like, all you do is you eat people up and no, you shoot people up and spit them out and you know that kind of stuff. And she gets angry because of
And he
Eddie.
turns-
You know, she says that she loved him, meaning Frankie.
Yeah.
She loved Frankie. You know,
Yes.
but all of them get turned to stone. There's a point. Everyone else just before she is calling him a hot dog.
Yeah.
You're a hot dog, and you better not try to hurt her, Frankfurter, and then you get turned to stone. Nude statues, by the way.
Yes. Then we get another great delivery from Tim Curry, where he looks to camera and says, "It's not easy having a good time."
Even smiling makes my face ache.
Yes.
Yes, I wrote both of those lines because I meant again. Frankie does a fourth wall break. It's because it is. You know, I feel for him. I think if it isn't whatever song I said it was earlier, then his solo song towards the end is probably my favourite, or it used to be at least. But yeah, so Ray's like, oh, we'll put on a floor show. And we get Charles Gray talking about how that's a bit out of place. What kind of this empty house? Who is this show for? Sort of thing. Is this an insight to the mind of Frankenfurter and stuff like that? And yeah, they're all dressed up in like corsets and stuff, and they're prepped for a floor show. And they sing "Rose Tint My World," and we see Little Nell's tits.
Yeah, it didn't fit. That corset doesn't fit very well.
No, it slips down a little bit, doesn't it? I have surprisingly, I've got that image, and I'm torn over whether to use it or not. I'm thinking I will, but I'm going to censor it. I think that's the most appropriate thing to do.
How gentlemanly of you.
I know. You know, I couldn't actually get screenshots of this. I had to search screen caps from Rocky Horror, and thankfully, there's a website that's got every fucking image.
I know that's one I use. I should think. Yeah.
I normally just go through the film and watch it. Again, to not the whole thing, but like parts of it. I skip to find them. But yeah, I always sort of liked that scene, and I'm not too sure why. And it's worth noting we do see most people's nipples in this. It's not just hers. There's a lot of nipples in this section of the movie, and I'm a nipple egalitarian. I think everyone's nipples should be free as long as you're of age. You know, I don't think there should be a stigma around seeing nipples. I don't know how you feel about it, Ben.
I've never given the matter much thought.
No, fair enough. So yeah, they have this sing along, and Frankie turns up from behind the curtain and he sings "Don't Dream It, Be It," which is very much, I would say, probably a gay anthem from the time, isn't it? Don't think about it, do it, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and that's perfectly reasonable. And then they're all swimming in a pool.
Yeah, and the RKO tower's there, which is sort of a slight callback to the opening song.
There's a bit right at the end of the song where I believe it's Susan Sarandon says, "God bless Lily St. Cyr." Do you know who that is?
I don't know. It's some sort of early burlesque.
It's a prominent US burlesque dancer. Yes, I looked it up because I didn't know. I was always curious, but I never actually watched it with subtitles before, so I hadn't really known what the line was for sure. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna Google who this Lily St. Cyr is, and yeah, it's prominent US burlesque dancer. Did you know that or?
No, it's just guess.
Oh, it wasn't "Rose Tint My World" that they sang before. It was. Oh, it was. Oh no, it was. And then they do it again. Yeah. I think because I don't know because I've got a note. But they get interrupted, don't they?
Yes, Riff Raff and Magenta burst in.
Yes, and they're in much more
looking
sci-fi.
slightly different.
The what?
Riff Raff's done his hair, and Magenta's looking very Bride of Frankenstein.
That's what it is. I was trying to find that I couldn't remember what it was, and I knew it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't work out. Like my searches weren't helping.
White Street, yeah. And they announced that Frank-N-Furter is too much.
Yeah, his lifestyle's too extreme.
Yes, we're going home to our home planet of transsexual Transylvania because we're aliens.
Yes, and so Frankie sings "I'm Going Home."
Yes,
which is, I believe, a beautifully delivered song. Personally, and I can see blue skies through the tears in my eyes as I realise I'm going home. And just his delivery of it just works for me so fucking well. I used to really, really like this song. It has slipped in my opinion somewhat over time, but I do think it's a brilliantly delivered song. We don't get. It's probably one of the more emotional songs of the film, I would say. Everything else is sort of. Isn't this great or isn't this sexy or that kind of thing? Whereas this is a someone is sad about something but seeing the best in it, and that's
he's really good.
He's
really fucking good.
But of course he's not going home, is he?
No, because Riff Raff, as Riff Raff explains, when I said we're going home, I meant Magenta and I.
Yes. And
instead of their brother and sister, and there was a moment before we found that out where they were necking.
Yeah, it's a bit, but it's a different, it's a different culture. Maybe brother and sister means something different to. I don't like it.
Well,
I don't like it. I'm trying to defend it, but I don't like it.
I know it plays into the whole sexual liberation thing. I guess
there's the way he delivers, and also presumptuous of you. It scratches a little itch in my brain. But little Nell screams and she gets zapped.
Yes, with the trident.
Yeah.
Which is another recreation of American Gothic.
Yeah, because it's the
It's the what do you call it? Pitchfork. Yeah, pitchfork gun. Yeah.
Frankie tries to escape and gets zapped, and then Rocky gets zapped a few times as he King Kongs his way up the RKO tower with Frankie.
Yeah.
And
Frankie uses Fay Ray.
King Kong was an RKO production initially, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's referenced in the opening song as well. It's like the ultimate B movie, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And then we get one of my favourite exchanges in this film. But I thought you liked them. They liked you. They didn't like me. They never liked me. And I love that. I love that. I have always loved that. I will always love that. It's that she's so calm and sort of surprised, and but he's so rage filled about it. Oh, yeah, I love it. I love it. Yes,
Well, yes, and Frank and Rocky are in the pool,
yeah,
dead.
because the tower
And
falls, doesn't it? It's on a
yes,
hinge and it's fallen down.
and Riff Raff goes over and has a chat with Doctor Scott, who's
I'm sorry about
Wait,
your nephew.
oh, it's fine.
Probably for the best.
Probably best. Like he's just trying to get out of there.
Yeah,
And yeah, Riff Raff says you need to go now because we're fucking off.
yeah.
Like right fucking now. So
And they
off they
carry
go.
they carry Doctor Scott out. And
Yeah.
then his wheelchair's there afterwards, broken. I just want to slight the continuity error there.
The castle flies off into space.
Yes, and we get Charles de Grey's delivery, don't we? And
Yeah.
crawling on a planet's face, some insects called the human race, lost
Which
in
is
time,
such a
lost in space, and meaning.
which is such a it's such a fucking Ed Wood B movie style ending.
Yeah,
That line. In
mm,
fact, the whole narrator aspect of it
yeah.
is so yeah.
I
So
mean, we get
yeah,
credits rolling with a reprise of science fiction double feature, but
yeah.
it's more it sort of plays into what happened in this film, isn't it? Um, yeah,
I mean, yeah. This isn't it's not for me, but it's a very good film, and it's very much about the queer community, and it's for them, and it works really fucking well, even
yeah,
though it's not for me.
yeah. I mean,
Tim
that's the
Curry
thing.
is a fucking revelation. He's amazing in this.
Mm.
Uh, three of the songs are amazing. Two of them are even better than that.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I've got the
yeah,
song list here, and Wild and Untamed Thing. That's one of them as well. I never really got into that. Um, or superheroes never really did it for me either. But no, it's like I say, it's a fine film. It's a good film. It's
it's
not for
good.
you.
No, but
Um,
I can respect it. You know, I
yeah,
stand there and I look at other people having a whale of a time with it. I'm like, I understand why this resonates with you,
and
and
that
that it does.
I think
I can get some stuff out of it.
that's what separates people like us who do this. We do something like this, the whole talk about a movie and what we think of it, from the average person. Is that we don't necessarily. I know in this case we do both like this film, but you can appreciate what something's going for without having to like it as well. Like
Yeah,
it's not for me,
it's
but I know why it's good for everyone else. I
yeah.
think there's
I
there's a
mean,
lot of that.
it's the ultimate cult classic.
Yeah.
Really,
Mm.
it's the ultimate cult classic, and it's about the queer community in the 70s and sort of the underground nature of it all, and
Mm.
kink, and you know conventional attitudes towards sex being sort of blown apart, and
All set against the
yeah,
backdrop of Richard Nixon's resignation.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So what more could you ask for?
yeah.
Yes. Anyway, I suppose it's about time that we talk about what our next film's going to be. It's your pick this
Yes.
week. What you going with, me old
Well,
mucker?
you mentioned that this time we did something we never done before, which was a musical.
Hmm.
And not only was it a musical, but it's a
Sexy musical.
cult a cult classic
Jeez.
LGBT musical.
Okay, so is this? Hang on. Let me take a guess. Are we?
And I have to have one of those.
Are you? Oh, have you really?
Yeah.
Okay, so is it gay? A gay musical from that IT Crowd episode? Have they made it into a
No.
movie?
No. No.
He's a friend of Dorothy.
No. It's
Sorry, we probably
it's,
shouldn't reference that actually because it's Graham Linehan, isn't it? And he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
So I take it back.
it's a film that's as old as we are,
No.
and it's Australian. It's we're gonna watch Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Is that Hugo Weaving in that?
It's Hugo Weaving, yes.
Ah, okay. Priscilla.
Hugo Weaving and Terence Stamp as a trans woman. So
Oh.
it was all right back then.
Okay, we'll see how it holds up, shall we? Is this going to be one of those that we need a disclaimer saying that we're more woke than this film is?
It's got some. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay.
I don't think Terence Stamp's attitude to the character was great. but I think the character itself works.
Mm.
It's
Is
a good
Terence Stamp
movie.
the one who played Lindemann in Heroes?
No, Terence Stamp is the one who played Chancellor Valorum, who wanted to be in
Oh,
Star Wars
yeah, it's
because he
him.
had a crush on Natalie Portman
When from
after
Leon,
seeing
when
her in
she was
Leon.
like, yeah, okay, yes. But you can see why I sort of mixed those two up facially, like in my head.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
thinking of oh fuck, what's his name?
I've already forgotten the character I mentioned.
He was in Clockwork Orange.
Yeah,
Malcolm McDowell.
yes, that's it. They're sort of similar, aren't they? I suppose facially.
But yes, we'll be watching
Okay,
Priscilla Queen of the Desert.
fair enough. Well, I shall look forward to that. But yeah, join us next week. I no one's watching this when it's come out. It's going to be up in like half hour. No one's watching this then. But if you by any chance you are, join us next week for Priscilla's Queen of the Desert, and of course check out any of our other movies that we've talked about either here on Spotify. We do 3 videos a week with us gaming, so check that out. There's comedy gold in some of that. Some of that.
Bye.
Bye. I've got to plug these things, right?
Nobody gives a shit.
I know, but I've got to try.
Nobody cares.
I know.